Hi Libra, how are you? Welcome to your December reading. Thank you so much for being here. I am back in the States for the holidays. I'm standing in my grandfather's old hobby shop, which explains the planes and the cars and everything around me. Let's go ahead and jump right into the astrological portion of your reading, okay? Because we have a huge transit according to Western astrology where Saturn is moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn, which rules your fourth house, house of home, and also representative of the mother, okay? This can be a very serious placement. It can enable you to take a more serious strides to developing and creating a home for yourself, or reestablishing roots or reconnecting with your roots in some way. But for those of you who are either a mother or motherly capacity, or you just in essence your more nurturing side, this can be a harsh placement. It can kind of give a little bit of detachment and coolness to that more maternal instinct of yours. So just be aware and just be careful. Some of you may even overcompensate in that manner as well, and maybe being a little bit too much of a nurturer or too giving or something like that. So this is going to be a point of focus for you over the next couple years to really enable you to hunker down and to really focus on this area. Now we have a beautiful transit, your home planet, or your ruling planet, excuse me, moving into your third house, Venus, which is for you ruled by Sagittarius. Now this can give a fun, loving nature, a very diplomatic nature in the way you communicate with people. You can be very objective, you can be very, evidence intense, make sure you're having all the evidence and everything like that. Be sure that it doesn't bring out that mischievous side, or that side that kind of wants to play with people a little bit, because I think some of you may have a tendency or an opportunity to do something like that. So just be sure that you are, playing it according to the rules and being kind and fair to everyone, which we all love about Libra. In the same part of the sky, we have that Mercury retrograde happening as well. So there can be miscommunications. So the more clear and the more diplomatic you can be, the better your month will go and will be a lot smoother, especially with this big Saturn transit. We don't want to overload ourselves with things to worry about or to overcomplicate things, okay? So I will leave you guys with that. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next month. Bye. Hello Libra, how are you? Welcome to your December reading. Thanks so much for being here. So this is my new deck. I'm calling it my Bali edition. And it's just pictures or images that I took from my time in Bali this year. I'm very personally connected with it. It's not for sale. It's just kind of a one of a kind kind of thing. But let's go ahead and begin. Okay, we've got the star coming out first for you. The star is about hopes and wishes. It's associated with the sign of Aquarius, which is why I put a picture of the water bearer fountain there. And stars is a powerful place, and it does represent I had like 5 things just go through my head. It represents so many things, but like generically our hopes and our dreams, and the fulfillment and the realization of those things, or the manifestation of those things. She also represents it's almost like a spiritual baptism, but not in like a Christian or religious kind of way, but just like this wave or this washing over of feeling refreshed, spiritually refreshed. She can represent attainment, accomplishment, okay? And I feel that some of you, I don't know why, I'm like, wow, these people have Aquarians in their life. I don't normally say that with the star or when the major arcana comes out, but I feel like some of you really are dealing with an Aquarian or an Aquarian moon or rising or something like that. And you're kind of being stimulated in a very specific way that is exciting. No idea why that came into my mind, guys, but maybe that will speak to some of you. and the Fool. Fool is about a quote-unquote new chapter, if I can be generic about it. You know, a Fool represents the rise. Okay, good, we're in there. The rise after a downfall. A blank slate kind of thing. I don't know why I'm seeing this. She can be somewhat reckless sometimes too, you know, innocence and naivete, and even the word ignorance, okay, could be at play here for some of you, but not all of you, right? It could be that some of you are just like barreling into something without really thinking everything through. This is such a card of healing and optimism and idealism as well. That high-mindedness, that high-minded Aquarian theme coming out. And these can either complement each other very, very well, or they can contrast. And if your idealism or your ideas of what could be, all these kinds of things are preventing you from thinking things through, then it can be a little bit destructive. So just ask yourself where you land on the spectrum. Now, Libra always being so, you know, as much as objective as you can be, being the scales, right? Weighing things out. This is not really a normal or a common, let's use the word common occurrence for you. So maybe this is not going to speak to all of you, but let's go ahead and just continue and see what else comes out. And the Nine of Swords. See, so much mental activity happening here. So much concern about what's going on. You know, she's very engrossed in her own thoughts, sort of oblivious to the world around her. And even here, so engrossed in the agenda, so engrossed in where she's going, that she's kind of oblivious to the world and the dangers around her as well. And, you know, I'm wondering if there's something going on in your life that is being clouded by this major arcana idea, this high-level, high-minded idea, but yet it's causing stress. I don't know, where's this stress coming from, guys? You know, because this is something that can kind of keep us up at night. It can make us feel confused. It can make us feel like we're not on track towards something. And being a cardinal sign Libra, like you usually are pretty good at having a goal and working to attain that goal and putting in the hard labor that is required, right? So maybe the goal itself is seeming a little fuzzy, and yet you're barreling forward with something nonetheless, and it's causing you stress because you're like, well, on the one side of the scale, it's exciting, it's fun, there's a huge possibility of success, but on the other side, I don't really have the evidence to back that up. And so there's kind of like this hemming and hawing going on, but all the while with this star-like thing. And some of you may be still in a process of healing from something, a romantic thing or a financial thing or whatever. So you're still healing, and yet you're moving forward, but maybe are you moving forward just a little prematurely? You know, I don't know. And the Page of Cups. Oh, I love her. She's been coming out a lot, and I'm so happy. She's just my experience that I had with this little girl was so cute, and she was so sweet and so excited to have her picture taken, but at the same time so shy. But she represents the power of creation. You know, she represents our ability to create something. And she is often of a romantic interest, you know, but she's also not necessarily of substance. It's merely representative of the message itself, but not necessarily the one sending the message. Okay? And she can be the bearer of good news, but yet I'm seeing you kind of question it. I'm seeing you even turning your back on it, turning your back on what she's bringing out of, I don't know, out of fear or out of doubt. I think that you, Libra, you're kind of doing that Libra out of control, going back and forth. I don't know, yes I do. I don't know, yes I do. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And kind of like that constant weighing of options to a point where you even recognize that it's a little bit too much, and it's not like nothing is balanced. Okay. The Three of Cups. This came out for Virgo as well. And I'm seeing this as being a really needed distraction for you right now. Look, maybe now is not the time to be making any major decisions. Maybe now is not the time to be barreling forward towards some kind of outcome or result, right? Indulge in your idealism a little bit. Allow that healing to continue. Indulge in your hopes. Indulge in those wishes, you know? And just because the world around you is not appeasing those things right now doesn't mean that it won't, okay? Three of Cups, like, go out, have fun, be social, be with your friends, okay? Now, on a romantic side, sometimes this can represent a romantic triangle happening. So just keep that in mind for some of you, although for most of you, I really feel that it's more just go out and be with your friends and do the things that you and your friends like to do. Rock climbing or yoga, or go to like a wine class, or, you know, to the museum, or just hang out at a friend's house, drink a couple beers, like whatever it is you got to do. And just not allow yourself to indulge in this heaviness, you know? And sometimes this heaviness too, perhaps for some of you, is like you're putting so much pressure on moving forward in something and you feel like you have to, but you're just so freaked out by it too, some of you. So just like, this is so light. It's a card of abundance. It's a card of a good time, of celebration, you know? And just let it be that way. Let yourself indulge in those things. No commitments needed. No solidification of anything needed. And a Queen of Wands. It's a card of Aries. Although I feel that it's you. Okay. What I like about this card is that she's just like looking down at her phone and getting business done. Like she's just doing things, right? This can be a social element. It could be financial, right? What is she checking on her phone? Is she checking her text messages, or is she checking her Facebook, or is she checking her stock market or her securities accounts, or is she checking her news feed? You know, what is she doing? Whatever it is you want to do, or you ever want to indulge in doing, just do that. You know, almost as though you are kind of turning your back on your own swords and saying, not now, Nine of Swords, I don't need to deal with this now. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do things that at least I know I can do in the meantime, and make small decisions in order to instill change. Because let's not forget the Aquarian theme of change here, and humanitarian efforts and causes, right? You know, giving back, that kind of thing. But it doesn't have to be in such a huge scale level for you, Libra. I'm using it as a visualization purpose, right? But your own personal humanitarian efforts, taking care of yourself and doing your own personal little causes, right? But you don't need to Oh, it just got really windy. You don't need to be so indulgent in this. I don't know why I'm feeling like this Page of Cups could represent someone for you. For those of you in love relationships or dating, maybe this is kind of someone hovering around, but yet it's still so superficial that you just really don't know how to interpret it. Maybe that's what's going on for some of you, and so you're kind of just choosing to ignore it or choosing not to engage with this person because they're not really engaging very much with you. So you're like, screw it, I'm just going to go have fun. Maybe that's how it will speak to some of you. And the Knight of Wands. Maybe this is the same person. Because the Knight of Wands can represent the sign of Sagittarius. And the Knight of Wands can also be very social, can also be very outgoing. Maybe they kind of even cater to that. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a romantic interest, you know, I don't know. But, you know, for a Queen of Wands, a Knight of Wands can be fun and can be interesting and stimulating, but there's always that question of, can I really move forward with this? Or can I really invest in this? Is there something of substance here? Now, I am seeing interest from the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Wands. All right, he's looking towards her. She's doing her own thing. You seem to be having a lot of questions about this person. Interesting that he's kind of staring right back. So you're staring this way, he's staring that way. Be careful that you aren't projecting too much of your fears onto this person, because they can't really handle that. They can't really handle depth. Libra, you do have a lot of depth, and you are very, very hard on yourself. You know, you have Virgo ruling your subconscious, right? The sign right before yours. And so Virgo rips you to pieces when it comes to who you should be and what you should be, you know, because it's about perfection. And that's what it does. It dissects things, it breaks things apart, and it gets into the nitty-gritty of things. So you don't, just be cognizant, just be aware that you may be kind of projecting stuff back onto someone. Now, it can handle it. It can handle it. They just don't like to indulge in that. You know, they don't respond well to it, and they can be very quick to disappear sometimes, a Knight of Wands, or quick to dismiss this heaviness, you know. I'm seeing you just doing your own thing, and by you doing your own thing, this person seems to be drawn to you. They seem to be lingering. They seem to be around, right? They're paying attention to you regardless of whether or not you're paying attention to them. Five of Cups can be a card of longing, a card of loneliness or isolation. It can be a card of feeling sad, but it's a reminder for you to feel grateful for what you do have. You know, so while you're kind of in this spiraling kind of thing, or fear of leaping into something, afraid to take a leap, afraid to fall in love, afraid to take next steps, whatever it is. I don't think it's unfounded fear. I'm sure that this person, like I said, their kind of superficiality or their lack of substance can be very, you know, kind of can send off some wrong signals. And I think you're right to be wary. You're right to be doing your own thing, to be going off and having fun and do your own Libra thing. But you're not right, okay, to be so sad about expectations not being met, because this seems to be a time when you're overthinking things, where this person just wants to have fun. If you don't want to just have fun with this person, don't engage. and relieve yourself of the heaviness of this Nine of Swords. Relieve yourself of the heaviness of like, should I jump or should I not jump? What should I do? I'm feeling with the Five of Cups that this might be reminiscent of something else, reminiscent of a past relationship or a past situation in which you found yourself, and which is why you're like, nope, I'm not engaging in that. I'm just gonna like do what I enjoy. It's the terrible psychology of things, right? You know, the less you pay attention, the more attracted they are to you. I'm kind of seeing that type of thing happening for some of you. And the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is about balance, yes. It's about juggling, yes. The reason why I put this card on there is because I always also interpret it as being a need to simplify, to get rid of excess. And with this Saturn transit, that's really what it's all about. These Nine of Swords, that's excessive. You know, the pressure you're putting on yourself is excessive. The confusion that you caused for yourself is excessive. Now, I'm not saying this person doesn't play a part in it, you know, but I do feel that they're at least interested. I think they are also kind of observing you and seeing how you handle things. There's a little bit of observation quality happening. Like, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this plays out, right? Like, nothing is truly, like, there's a desire to jump towards each other, but there's so much restrictiveness happening too. And like I said, remember, there's this element of idealism happening here with the Star, but you recognize that the ideal is not the reality, and you're kind of maybe even feeling a bit like depleted because it's like, oh, I just kind of know that it can't be everything that I want it to be. Like, this is a person too. They have their imperfections too, just like me. I can't expect everything that I want to expect, and therefore I'm feeling, you know, it just kind of goes around and around and around. So Two of Pentacles is about relieving yourself of excess. Stop juggling. Stop trying to keep everything in the air. Stop trying to be responsible for everything, and just let the cards fall as they may. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Go out. Do your thing. And I think eventually the answers will become clear. You know, the answers in terms of whether or not you can put faith and put trust in this person or not, whether you want to or not. Now, if you're in a committed relationship, you guys, I'm not saying that you're going to be breaking up. This could be an issue that you're dealing with, right? This could be kind of an elephant in the room type of thing that just is building up tension between the two of you. And while normally I would say to talk about it, but I don't think talking it's not showing up here. And while I don't want you to suppress stuff, I think the tension needs to subside, and that tension can only subside through time. And I think the Saturn transit is playing a big part of that. And also the Mercury retrograde you need to be careful of, because any communication could be misunderstood and misconstrued. So be clear if you do choose to speak. Likely your partner is not really talking too much. And the Five of Swords, right? That never-ending battle, or that battle that cannot be won. I chose to put police officers on this card, right? Because they kind of represent the state or the system in which you're operating. And sometimes, as much as we would like to fight the system, also kind of a little bit of an Aquarian theme there. And actually, Five of Swords does have an Aquarian, you know, number 5, 6, and 7 is associated with the fixed air sign, which is Aquarius. So anyway, but fighting that system in which we find ourselves, sometimes we can find ourselves just treading water and not making any progress, right? It's like trying to fight the current of the ocean. You just can't do it no matter how hard you try. So you really need to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth all the swords that you're giving it? You're giving 9, it's begetting 5. So you're not even really getting any type of results out of it. So to just relax. And the 6 of Cups. There's an element of nostalgia. There's an element of something resurfacing from the past. There's an element of reconnection. Now, are you reconnecting with this person? Are you reconnecting with this issue? You know, I don't know what it is. Just don't overthink it. I think this person has genuine intentions. A Page of Cups I often see as being very genuine. Just because it might not have the depth or the substance, or just because it's not as dramatic or romantic or whatever it is you would like, doesn't mean it's not real. And if you're interested in this person, or if this is someone with whom you would like to maintain this connection with, to not shove it back in their face, and to be very, very aware of what you're projecting onto them. Because likely this 9 of Swords is not from them, it's from something else from the past. From an ex-boyfriend, from an ex-boss, from an ex-friend, or from a, estranged family member. And your issues are not their issues. Now, if they're behaving in the same way and they're making you feel the same way, then it's best to not engage at all and to completely separate yourself from them. But if they are proving to be a quality person, then your fears are merely just your fears, and that is all. And it is your choice to be controlled by them or not. And the King of Wands. Well, I don't know who you're dealing with. We've got all the fire signs being represented: Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Okay, this is the card of Leo. Because of the male aspect here, I'm kind of feeling like this is the same person. But again, some of you may be dealing with 3 people. This could be, the winner. The King of Wands would be the winner. And this would be someone that would be a better match, I feel. Now, this could also be the true essence of who this person is. You might only see them here as a knight, but truly they are a king. And it's layers. They're showing you this side because they're not ready for the responsibility of this. Now, I don't know why. Usually this type of superficiality is because it's something new. We have the Fool, which represents something new. Okay, so maybe it's just too new for him to be a king. To be your king or queen, right? Male or female, whatever your preference, whatever. So I don't see obstacles with this person except your own mind. So because this doesn't go away easily and is stemmed or rooted from something in the past, you are afraid of repeating bad habits and bad patterns. You're afraid of dating the same person over again. You're afraid of going through the same fight or argument again, or whatever it is. Take the time you need to allow this tension to subside. Don't commit to anything. Don't do anything dramatic. Don't set anything in stone. Don't say anything you'll regret. Just let time take care of you, because it will, because it always does. Okay, Libra? So I will leave you with that. I am so grateful for you to be here. Thank you, and I will see you next month. Bye.